Program. Good morning to you. Thank you very much for choosing Morning Live. Let's talk cabinet reshuffle. Not entirely unexpected. In fact, there had been long speculation, but yesterday President Jacob Zuma announced in his 11th cabinet reshuffle that he was removing Blade Nzimande from the Ministry of Higher Education and moving other ministers around. 5 ministries were affected. Author and political analyst Prince Mashele joins us for the analysis of these cabinet changes. Good to see you, Prince. Welcome again.
Thank you very much for inviting me. Good to see you too.
Yeah, thank you. So let's just have a look at the fact of what happened yesterday. As we said, not unexpected, but whenever it does happen, it becomes unexpected, doesn't it?
Well, anything it's possible under Jacob Zuma as president. Yeah. You can have another reshuffle tomorrow anytime. But that's not the point. The point is why reshuffle and what is it about? This reshuffle is about 2 things. One is about the nuclear deal. The president realizes that in 2 months' time, he will no longer be president of the ANC. And if Cyril Ramaphosa wins, possibly, he will no longer be president of South Africa. He is under immense pressure from Russia to sign off on the nuclear deal because he has made promises, allegedly, to give it to Russia. It is rumored that Minister Kubai refused to sign, given the fact that the court said everything that was done with regard to the nuclear deal was illegal. So she refused to append a signature because she understood the consequences for her personally. It would appear that David Mahlobo is prepared to push the nuclear deal. He must have committed to the president that he will do it. But he is mistaken. If he signs, by the way, you need 2 signatures. You need David Mahlobo's signature. You also need Malusi Gigawa's signature. Malusi is aware of the personal consequences, still young. I don't think he will sign. Even if both were to sign, by the way, the courts would stop it. So this thing, it's not going to happen. But he is making a gamble. The second thing is about Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma. He is trying to dribble the South African Communist Party out of the alliance so that you scatter the forces that are mobilizing for Cyril Ramaphosa. Remember that the South African Communist Party has already said that there is a possibility that they might stand alone in the 2019 elections. So by firing Blade, he is thinking Blade is going to marshal his forces out of the alliance so that you weaken those who are campaigning for Cyril. Again there, he is mistaken. The SACP is aware of the game that he's playing. They are not going to pull out until after December. And if Cyril wins, they will stay with the ANC.
Let's break it down even further. You're talking about Cyril Ramaphosa. Last night there was a revelation about the fact that Cyril Ramaphosa may be removed after a investigation, and he may not be the deputy president anymore. What do you make of this?
If he removes Cyril, he will actually be shooting his ex-wife Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma in the foot. ANC delegates will see through the plan. And South Africans already can see what Zuma is trying to do. If he does that, he will actually be mobilizing for Cyril as opposed to mobilizing against Cyril. He will actually projecting Cyril as a victim. He would be doing exactly what he did himself when he rose to power. Remember, he went around projecting himself as a victim of political shenanigans. So he is aware of that. I doubt if he would. But you know what? As I said earlier on, under President Zuma, any kind of madness is possible.
Anything is possible. So we keep talking about NDZ as well. Now, when we speak reshuffle, I think as soon as anybody saw that, they were expecting, we're going to see NDZ's name now. And yet it didn't. Although there is a big there's a big gap there with our movement here in the presidency. The deputy minister in the presidency, of course, we see that that's been moved over to the deputy minister of higher education. So what could happen there? Could we possibly see Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma moving into the presidency?
He wouldn't do that. Can you imagine? You have a president Zuma and you have a deputy minister Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma in the presidency. It would be too obvious. The reason why he didn't get Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma into cabinet, he realized that it would generate negative noise. It would be bad because the plan would be too transparent, which is why he didn't do it. I think Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma wouldn't agree to do so because he understands the possible negative implications of that. I can tell you, you and I would be talking about Zuma the president positioning Zuma, the ex-wife, if he had done that. So he got it, which is why he parked her in parliament.
Okay, so we've got Buti Manamela in that position, and that his position is still open now to be refilled.
In the first place, there was no need for a deputy minister in the presidency. What does a deputy minister in the presidency do other than collecting a salary? You tell me what Buti Manamela has done since was appointed deputy minister. Absolutely nothing. There is no need for a deputy minister in the presidency. So he will not fill it because there is absolutely no need for that position.
Some other moves, and we've got all the screens, all of the ministers' movements on screen now, so we'll just talk about it. David Mhlobo, you've already alluded to him. You know, there was also articles coming out, I'm not too sure when it was, but about a month ago, where he apparently accompanied Kenny Kunene and Gayton McKenzie to Russia on a trip to try and, secure this big lucrative deal. And again, he was apparently on the plane with them. Again, I say these are articles, these are allegations, but you mentioned that. So again, this strategic move of David Mhlobo to energy, this was very well planned.
Look, here is the thing about the news of Mhlobo traveling to Russia with Gayton McKenzie and Kenny Kunene. You will remember that we learned that Musebenzi Zwane flew in a Gupta-owned jet to negotiate a deal in Switzerland. It turned out to be true. So what we read in the newspapers turns out to be true later. I believe that David Mhlobo went to Russia. If he did, it makes sense that now he is taking over energy. That's where the nuclear deal is. So he's been to Russia, he prepared the ground, now he is on the other side to go and sign the deal. That, I think, is the plan. Like I said, South Africans must relax. It will not work. Even if all of them were to sign that kind of a deal in South Africa, we live in a democracy. It will be challenged before a court of law and it will be struck down.
Yeah. Let's talk SABC, because it was a big day for SABC yesterday.
Oh, yes.
We're going to talk about it more in depth in the second hour here on the program, but we saw our board being signed in. We saw who the new deputy chair is and the co-chair. And we get a new Minister of Communications. What happened there? Ayanda Dlodlo being removed of communications?
Ayanda Dlodlo came into the Ministry of Communication with an agenda to clean up the mess at the SABC. And since she took over, we actually have seen things changing. Zuma is not happy with that, because we know that Hlaudi Motsoaneng and all the clowns who were running the SABC under Hlaudi were actually acting on behalf of Zuma. So Zuma gave Ayanda Dlodlo a script to do certain things, and she didn't push his agenda, which is why she's now being removed. Look at the appointment of the chairperson and the deputy chairperson of the board, for example, right? The chairperson and the deputy chairperson of the interim board were actually not reappointed in those positions. You know why? It is because they've done a good job to clean up the SABC. So Ayanda is being punished for not acting on Zuma's instructions, which was to bring back the old mess here at the SABC. So that's why she has been chucked away to Home Affairs.
6 months in a role as a minister, I mean, how much difference can you do, and how unsettling is it for these different portfolios? These are big portfolios. We can't downplay them. That, you know, we sort of have got different people coming in. In fact, we've got a brand new minister that's also taken up a portfolio. What are your views on him?
Here is the thing. I mean, the fellow comes from Mpumalanga. The deal is Zuma has always wanted to crack Mpumalanga in order to get Mpumalanga to support his ex-wife, Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma. And Didi has refused, because his calculation is that if Nkosazana were to take over, the ANC would go down. So what does he do, Zuma? He gets someone from Mpumalanga trying to crack Mpumalanga. That's the strategy. But here is the thing about it. This is not about the interest of the reshuffle, is not about the interest of the country. It's about the calculations of a man who is about to exit the office. So these ministers, what can they do in 2 months? If Zuma is out of power in December, this minister can do absolutely nothing. And here is the other thing. When there is a campaign for the change of leadership in the ANC, everything in government stops. Nothing functions as we speak. So there's absolutely nothing these ministers can do. They are lucky. They'll collect a few salaries before Zuma leaves office.
Prince Mashele, we'll leave it there. We've got another big interview coming up straight after this. We've got the SACP here in studio with us, giving us their response to Blade Nzimande being fired basically as a minister and not moved. So, Prince, thank you. A great build-up to an analysis of the reshuffle that we saw yesterday. Prince Mashele is a political analyst, and he gave us his thoughts on yesterday's events where the president in one day reshuffled cabinet. He also announced a brand new board for the SABC as well. Write to us at Morning Live SABC. At Morning Live SABC. I just had to think about that. Stay tuned. Sorry Mapahile after the break. Do stay tuned.